Hello, I am Suzanne Phillips.
And I'm Shauna Black, and welcome to EbscoHost, a gateway to other databases. In this video, we'll be showing you and exploring EbscoHost, and specifically the subdatabase History Reference Center. The History Reference Center is our selected database because our topic is based in history. This search process can be applied to other branches of EbscoHost as well as other databases. Our intended audience for this video is academics conducting research for academic papers as well as publication, for librarians working on archiving material, for veteran WASPs who would like to research their history, and for family members of veteran WASPs who would also like to research their family history as well. Our learning objectives is that by the end of this presentation, you'll be able to conduct a research within the database, to explore the different features of the database, and to also share your findings via emailing them to yourselves, to others, by printing, citing, and then also saving. The first thing we're going to start with is the actual search itself in the database.
All right, when you first pull up EbscoHost, this is going to be the first page you see. It will look a little different if you are not logged into an account. As you can see, it says My because I, Suzanne, am logged in this particular tutorial. This is the basic search bar that you can use just to start out testing the waters and seeing if you can find the information that you're looking for. I would like to do a quick explanation of what Boolean search is, truncation and quotations. Boolean search is and, or, and not. I will get into that a little bit later, but it helps to expand your search. You can also use truncation, which is the star symbol on your keyboard. And if you put it after a word such as program, it will make it where EbscoHost will bring up articles that have programming, programmer, programs, rather than just bringing up program. Quotations are helpful if you're going to use terms like social media. If you put quotations around social media, it will make it where your searches are pulling up articles on social media rather than on social issues or society or media in general. It helps keep those terms together so it searches it as one search term. I would like to also point out down here at the bottom, the black is the basic search because that's where we are on the page. We have the advanced search, and you can also look at your search history. We're now going to do a search. So we're going to give you an example of a very precisely worded search that yields very little in the way of information, and it's also not going to be as accurate as you think it might be. We have used the term WASP, which is the acronym for Women Air Force Service Pilots, which is the topic of our Pathfinder. And I have put WWII for World War II. As you can see, it brought up only 2 sources, which is convenient, but if you hover over this icon here, it will bring up an abstract and limited information on the source, so you don't have to click into every resource to decide whether or not you will like it or not. As you can see, based on this abstract, this is not what we're looking for. This is about a wreck that has nothing to do with the female Air Force Service pilots. It is acceptable to use acronyms within your search, but you need to be careful about how you use them. Since WASP is a word, it is a bug, it is clearly used for other things as well. You need to be a little more specific. So we are going to try a different search here. We have put in Women Air Force Service Pilots, World War II. As you can see over here to the side on the left, EbscoHost has suggested that I use a Boolean search by inserting and between Air Force Service Pilots and World War II. we can see that EbscoHost has supplied us with sources that are relevant to our topic. However, it is still very limited and there's not a lot of sources available to us. I would like to point out down here that we have a couple of options for selecting ways of viewing the documents. You can also do interlibrary loan. Interlibrary loan is going to look a little different depending on what library you are going to use. We will talk about the HTML and the PDF in just a little while, but I wanted to point them out for you here because you can see them here. And I also wanted to point out this handy dandy little yellow folder over here on the side. As I mentioned earlier, we are logged into my account, and that little yellow icon indicates that this source is in my folder. The blue folder with the plus in it means that you have not added it to your folder, but just by clicking on that icon, it will automatically load into your folder. Now we're going to click on the advanced search and switch to an advanced search to see if we can get a little bit more information on our topic. Once you click on that button, this is the page you're going to see. We have Boolean searches already built in to the advanced search. We also have some fields for selection over here on the side that can also help limit your search. If you scroll down on that page, you will see a limit your results. You can click on full text, you can do peer reviewed, you can do by publication date if your professor requires sources within a certain time frame. You can also be really specific about publication. You can choose whether or not you only want academic journals, biographies, what have you. And you can also narrow it based on your timeline. Something to keep in mind as you're doing this is the more you limit, the more limited your search will be. As you limit, you reduce the sources that you will see, which can eliminate sources that you could potentially want. So you might want to rearrange, switch around your search terms just to make sure you're seeing all of the relevant sources for your topic. Now we have searched women Air Force service pilots and World War II and WASPs. As you can see over here, there's a bullet pointed list of and, or, and not, which are all Boolean operators that you can use. And worked best for our purposes in this video tutorial, but you can use or to make it where it's one concept or another. You can also use not to eliminate that from your search. As you can see, when we switch to the advanced search, it has pulled up all new sources for us to view. We have now found sources that are useful, that are relevant, and we can click on one of these sources and see the actual information that it contains. I would also like to point out that over to the side, this little handy dandy toolbar that I will get into a little more detail in a moment. We're going to now explore within the database resources. So, as I promised, here is the little toolbar a little bit closer up. These right here on top are articles that are in a file that I have created within my account. And at any point you can remove them and add others just by clicking the little blue file that I mentioned earlier. There are also some other lovely tools. You have this news wires is what they call them, but it is a topical recent article that has been produced that did not come up in our initial search, but might be relevant to what we are looking at. Then they also have some other sources available to us, and all you have to do is hover over this little icon and the abstract will pop up so you can see if it is actually something that you want to look at before clicking out of your original search. Now we are in the article itself. We have clicked on the blue title and it has brought up the detailed record. I would like to point out first the abstract. you can see that the words that we used in our search have been highlighted within the abstract. This is helpful for a quick glance overview to see if this is even a relevant resource for your search. There's also the option of subjects, which sometimes people don't really know what those are for, but it's a good way to use other terms to search within your database. Each database has certain subject headings that it prefers more than others. Even if it can pull up topics under certain terms, it might do better if you use ones that it recognizes specifically. So these subjects will be things that if you enter them into the search bar, it should be able to immediately pull up sources with this information. Now I would like to, as promised, talk about the HTML and the PDF. The PDF, when you click on it, is going to bring up the option of saving to your computer, what file you want to put it in, and what would you like to title the PDF. The HTML is going to be within the database itself. It will pop up with this page that we're looking at, but as you scroll down, you will see this page. You can choose a language. If you do not speak English as your first language, you can translate the document into the language of your choice. You can listen to it being read to you if you have a reading disability, and you can change the accent to make it easier for you to understand. You can change the volume. There are other settings that can be helpful, and you can also download the audio file to your computer. Also, within the body of the document itself, all of your key search terms are highlighted just like they are in the abstract. So you can scroll through and see where the bolded words are, and it might make it a little easier for you to skim quickly through the document just to make sure that you're thinking it says what it actually says. All right, and I would like to point out real quick that there is a wonderful bar back here on this page. I wanted to point out the placement for you, and then Shauna is going to give you a little bit more information on it.
All right, so now that we have conducted our search and we've explored the features within the article and we've selected our article, we're going to show you how you can share this article. So at the very top, we have Google Drive. Now in Google Drive, you can save all the articles that you found to Google Drive, making your own folder in Google Drive. That is something that you will be able to have, and it will be saved in the cloud, so you don't have to take up any memory on your computer or on any other type of like flash drive. You can add to folder, just like Suzanne mentioned. When you log in and you have a member account, you can add these articles to your own folder to save to use at a later date, or if it's something that you didn't want to or aren't quite sure on if you want to keep, or something you don't want to lose. You can directly print it and have it right away. You can email it to yourself, or you can email it to others as well. You can save to your computer. You can cite, you have this toolbar here, or this button here is for citing. Now I'll go into that more in the next slide. You can export your article. You can even create a note on your article, like a feature that you liked about it, something specific, or where you would like to put it in your document. You also have the permalink. The permalink is fantastic to use, especially for when you're using the HTML format, because you have the permanent link to that article. So what you can do is when clicking on this, you'll be able to save that link. You'll be able to write down that link. Anyway, you will be able to come back to this specific article without having to go through any other thing or having to go through folders. You can also then, there are other different ways that you can share. Again, here at this toolbar, you can choose to listen to your article, and you can also translate the article here as well. So going back up to the site, when you click on this button, this is the screen that you will get. This window will actually pop up. And here you'll be able to select your citing format. Now we have selected the APA format as an example. And with this citing, you can manually type it in to your document or your research paper, or you can select the citing, copy it, and then paste it into document, but the thing is to remember is that you have to double check that the citing is correct, as in the format is correct, because at times it can be incorrect. Also, if you would like more citing information, all you need to do is click on the blue APA, and this will also give you a pop-up window that'll appear that will also give you basic information on citing. To recap, we have showed you how to research, how to explore the different features and tools within the database, and finally, how to share the articles. We believe that EbscoHost is a key to information and knowledge, and we hope that this has been a helpful video. Thank you for watching, and we hope that your research goes very well.